The Democrats on that oversight subcommittee. Joins us now Congressman Subramanyam of Virginia. Congressman, welcome back to the weekend. So that was a rare show of bipartisanship on this subcommittee with some of the president's most loyal allies. Why do you think the tide is turning here? And what do you make of this moment?
Yeah, first shout out to Reps Robert Garcia, the ranking member, and Summer Lee, who made the motion. We were trying to do it in several different subcommittees, but we found the right one and the right time. I think the reason this is happening is because some of the MAGA universe who said that we were creating a deep state as Democrats are starting to realize that Trump is actually the one creating a deep state. He's actually the one that's kind of a phony, right? He was campaigning on the whole idea that there was a cover-up, but now he's the one covering up. And I think now they're even coaching Ghislaine Maxwell, his lawyers are, on trying to make sure she says the right thing so she could possibly get a pardon. And so this is clearly a cover-up. And honestly, I think this has become more of an interest to me, even personally, because at first I said, okay, this is the Epstein conspiracy. But the way the president has reacted to this shows that there is something seriously in there, something seriously going on here. There must have been more strong connection than we even think because of the way he's acting and the way he's reacting to this.
Do you think he'll actually pardon her?
I think he probably will. I mean, he pardoned the January 6th insurrectionists. He's pardoned corrupt politicians. I mean, this is another, square in his bingo card of terrible people he's pardoned over the years.
Congressman, Chairman James Comer is required to issue a subpoena at this point, thanks to this vote. And he confirms it'll be issued. The timeline uncertain, according to the Washington Post. It says, as chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Representative James Comer is obligated under House rules to issue the subpoena to the Justice Department, but he has not said when he will do so. Are you worried that he and maybe House Republican leadership are going to slow walk this?
Well, of course they're going to slow walk this, and they're also going to make sure that whoever does come to that testimony and whoever does testify will be saying exactly what Donald Trump wants them to say. So, James Comer and the Republicans are still loyal foot soldiers to Donald Trump, right? They're doing his bidding. I think they're feeling pressure at home to start speaking up or doing something about this because their constituents are angry at them for covering up something that was a campaign promise last year to release the files. And so, again, this is really bad for the president because people are realizing that he's kind of a phony, right? His own people. And, I was there Apprentice season 2, but I'm glad that other people are starting to join the rest of us.
Help me understand something, Congressman, because great, big show of bipartisanship. You got the subpoenas out. But among the subpoenas were for other people, like both Bill and Hillary Clinton, James Comey, the former FBI director, Robert Mueller, the Mueller investigation, and former Attorney General Loretta Lynch. Why were they added to the subpoena list? Why was that deemed necessary?
Well, to be clear, the motion that passed, the 8-2 motion, was just for Ghislaine Maxwell. So the other ones didn't actually pass. We voted those down in a voice vote. But Republicans can still try to subpoena those folks and drag them in to try to testify along with hers later on, potentially. But again, we would never vote. We don't think it needs to be that far-reaching. I think it's pretty simple, though. If he releases the files, this all goes away, right? Or at least in our minds, the transparency is finally there. So why not? Why not release the files? Why not release the book? Why not just, show everyone, if you have nothing to hide, then just show us all the proof.
Y'all got sent home early by House Speaker Mike Johnson. It seems in an attempt to not have to vote on Epstein on the actual floor, not have to deal with this. So maybe people will cool down over the 3 weeks or whatever that you guys are gone. Axios reported that Hakeem Jeffries, your leader, said that you guys should be talking about Epstein a lot while you guys are on recess. Do you think that's a good strategy, or should you focus on the table issues? Should you talk about the big, beautiful bill more?
I mean, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We got to talk about everything, right?
He says that, but not everybody. But not everybody in the Democratic Party can. And I think we have seen that over and over and over again in the past.
Let him demonstrate. Go on, Congressman. Walk and chew gum at the same time.
Well, look,
I hope you can. There's many others that can.
We left without one vote on lowering costs for the American people. We left on one vote on actually helping people who are on Medicaid. If they really cared about lowering costs and they really cared about people's health care access, this, they would actually stay and vote. I know I'm local, so it's easier for me, but the reality is that we had a lot more business to do, and they've been shirking that. And they're the ones talking about Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein, too. It's not like we're the only ones talking about it. And why is it important? Why is Epstein important? It's not just about the files. It's the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein were running this terrible ring where they were exploiting these young women, and now Ghislaine Maxwell is trying to act like a victim. She is no victim. So let's remember that, too, when we're talking about this issue.
What do you make of the president's personal attorney, who is now the #2 at the Justice Department, going down to Tallahassee for 2 days by himself to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yeah, it's a fixer, right? He's going down there to make a deal with Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell is a documented liar. A lot of the charges on her are perjury. I don't expect, I'm still going to question her if I have the chance, but I don't expect her to be truthful in those answers. But, you know, she'll just commit more perjury. That's okay. What's interesting is they are hanging this pardon over her head in return for trying to get her to say whatever Trump wants her to say, right? So let's remember that when we do hear from her. But in the meantime, let's remember what she is. She is a sex trafficker. She is a bad person, and she is a criminal. And so they need to make sure that she's not seen as a victim.
Well, we have lots of time before that. Probably have Congressman Subramanyam. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.